Hello, welcome to another video from Alberta Bushcrafter. My name's Dean, and this is our 5th installment of our 2015 Saw Shootout. And this one, I guess there's no choice but to call this the super heavyweight division. Now, we actually had some footage shot. The footage you're going to see is a little older. It's from several weeks ago when it was actually very cold. I don't know what it was. Something was bumping the tripod, and I got a lot of noise on some of our original footage, so I'll apologize for that in advance. The whole introduction section was totally unusable, but salvaged what I could. So here's what we're going to have for today, for the for this competition. So our first contender, this is a basic, is a 21-inch Home Depot bow saw. I think it's an Echo. But again, get it up close, you can see the blade here. I think this is about 10 bucks. The reason we included it is it's lightweight enough that you could actually do a good job with it. It's really handy in the bush. Now, there are some drawbacks for this. The blades are not always that great, and especially the cheaper ones. There are two types of blades for these. There's the $3 ones, and then there's the $10 or $15 ones. The $10 or $15 ones are Swedish steel, cut through wood like butter, and incredible. These are actually Spanish made, not the best, but you'll see whether it does a good or bad job. Second contender, you'll see this opened up. This is the Trailblazer buck saw, and I've actually posted a card to the video on this saw already. I don't want to take it out and assemble it right now, but this is a great saw, very lightweight, actually fit in the side of your pack, quite versatile. If you have a tall enough pack, it'll fit inside, not a lot of space, and you'll be amazed what this baby folds out to. This is a 24-inch Trailblazer. One of the disclaimers on this has been my go-to saw for 20 years. Unfortunately, the company that makes these, this is the Trailblazer Takedown Buck Saw, the company that makes these went out of business. And that is quite tragic. I mean, it actually annoys me sometimes. I think I got the last set of blades in Canada for these, for replacement blades. So I've got about 3, and it's as long as it lasts. Haven't found a way to put the ends on regular 24-inch saw blades. And so yeah, you cannot find replacement blades. You cannot find this saw anywhere, except for very, very exorbitant prices on eBay and so on. And that's quite a pain. Now, the third one is a late entry. Hopefully, well, you'll see a video on this one, but this is the Silky Big Boy 2000. I know I'm going to do a video on this at some point, because this is a workhorse of a saw. This is scary, this thing. This is a 360 millimeter blade. So half again as long as the 240, the Gomboy 240. Now this is a saw. Look at that thing. I got high hopes for this. This one's actually the Big Boy 2000, meaning it's got an extra large tooth pattern. You can tell the XL ones because they have a yellow handle. I might do a video sometime about how the handle corresponds to the saw, which I find kind of weird because, you know, this is a 6.5 tooth per inch, but I mean, look at those teeth. This thing is very aggressive. I've used it for greenwood mostly, but it's a two-handed saw as well, and it is, you know, you get that sort of Kill Bill look from this thing. You'll probably see that in another video too. I never tire of that. The other bonus to this one is 2-position blade. So this is actually good for undercutting. It's also good for the really tight spaces. But it is a beautiful, beautiful saw. And it better be, because it is not a cheap saw. There's one saw I know that's more expensive than this Silky. This is about an $80 Canadian saw. The only one I know that's more expensive than this is their massive, scary looking Katana Boy, and that's a $200 saw. Can't quite justify the budget for that yet. Couldn't quite justify the budget for this one, in fact, but I managed to scrape by on rice and beans and craft dinner for a week. And then I could afford this. Anyways, so here it is. This is our third one, the Big Boy 2000. And this is a beauty. So the longest of the three blades is actually the 24-inch Trailblazer. Second is this 21-inch. And this is, I'm not sure, 13, 14. I'll put the numbers below. Now, as an honorable mention, this saw is not in the competition. This is a 36-inch cut brick Swede saw or bow saw. This thing is a monster. I use this around the yard. The reason I'm not counting this one is because, well, it is an absolutely adorable saw. It's not expensive, it's about 20, 30 bucks. But I'm not going to call it portable by any means. You know, it's even tough to build a sheath for this thing or a cover, and it's, pardon me, if you do have a backpack, it's, well, it'd be tough to lash that to it. Great for car camping, great for canoe camping or any kind of conveyance, but this thing is just a little too big to be called a portable saw. In any case, though, we are going to put these three saws up against the absolute super heavyweight here, which is just standard 36-inch bow saw. Anyways, let's see how this goes. Oh, one note. There's actually something I wanted to add from the original footage, but there's one I picked up for the home that I'm not counting, and this is just a 240 millimeter, just a basic pruning saw with Japanese teeth. I like these because, you know, the blade's a little more secure. However, I prefer the Silkies, which have the tang of the blade go all the way through the handle. This one, as you can see, it stops. This one was actually just bought a little too late for the heavyweights, but maybe someday. The other thing, I have seen a few other videos from other channels about the Sven saw, and it's a nice little takedown. I think it's about a 21-inch triangular bow saw. Now, this is a very, very old model of a fixed bow saw, and I'll explain quickly why that thing is not in the running. It's basically because I won't buy one. You see, this is what the Sven saw sort of looks like as well. It basically comes up and comes down. It's triangular like that. You'll actually see one of the contestants on Alone has one of these. The problem is you only get about that much cutting surface out of that. All the rest of this, I mean, it's great for starting to cut, but you can't really get a very long stroke. So really, 21-inch is more like a 13 or 14-inch saw. So I wouldn't even count it in the super heavyweights. I won't buy one, and I'm sorry, but I have to disagree with a lot of these so-called survival experts that say the Sven saw is a great saw. Because you know what? I've been using saws for 30 years. So, no, I gotta say, unfortunately, it's not. It's a gimmicky little saw. I'll take this one any day. Heck, I will take a 21 or 24-inch saw blade and I will make I'll just make a buck saw in the bush rather than carrying one of those Svens, because at least I'm getting the 21-inch cutting surface. This is not a 21, by the way. This is about an 18, which really, no, you've got about 12 inches of cutting surface there. You lose about a third. So that's why we're not having any Svens. Any kind of triangular saws like that, I find them not very effective. And you know what? This packs up just as small and it packs a bigger wallop, I can guarantee already. So, rant over. We're going to take you to the actual competition. All right, so let's see how these 3 saws and the honorable mention actually cut. All right, we are ready for this, and this is going to be fun. We've already had a little mishap, so we reconfigured things, and this is our impromptu sawhorse here, which is pretty sturdy considering it's taller than me. So here's our first one. This is the 21-inch just generic Home Depot saw. What we're cutting, this is, I would say, what, semi-seasoned?
Semi-seasoned, yeah.
Cherry wood. So this is actually a pretty dense hardwood. So we'll see how this works.
All right.
Ready? Oops. Go on. 85.
I had 94.
96.
Okay.
We'll call this 95 on a big, huge chunk.
That performed very well.
You guys will notice I wasn't going crazy, and it's not a race.
No, it isn't.
Okay. So, our second one. Here's a 24-inch Trailblazer buck saw.
Alrighty, here we go. Ready?
Anytime.
I had 45.
I have 44.
That was
Wow.
awesome. That was awesome.
And we were moving the whole shelf there. It really, did you see that thing moving? You had your whole weight into that. Okay. Silky Big Boy 2000.
Go.
Oops. I think.
Yep.
I have 66.
Yep.
I will say though,
That is not a detraction on the Silky.
that was almost effortless. Really just, I wasn't leaning it, the whole thing wasn't shaking.
Nope.
You just take your time with these big boys. Okay, so next, we're gonna try some dry wood. Okay, we almost forgot. by comparison, here's the big 36-inch Swede saw.
Nope.
At 45.
Yep.
So that's still good. Not too much effort there. I do find though, this particular model, blade's a little loose.
And that really does affect cutting performance on a bow
Yeah, you're
saw.
just afraid to break it.
Yep.
All right. So now we've got some, what, this is...
Standing dead lodgepole pine.
Okay. This ought to be good. Container number 1, Home Depot El Cheapo saw.
At 42.
41.
Okay.
All right. You're not going to like that.
Yeah, I don't think
Chase
Hempel
after it
wants
anyways.
All right.
Okay. Trailblazer. Takedown buck saw.
Here we go. $22.
At 32.
Oh,
Still, fastest time yet.
yeah, definitely.
Okay, number 3. Silky big boy.
Nope. $34.
34. And where'd it go? Last but decidedly not least, come on, Hemi. Get 36-inch bow saw.
Nope. $25.
23.
Okay.
All right. So that's why this is just by comparison, because it's, you know, it's a little beyond the range where you could actually pack it into the bush unless, you know, you had a case for it or something. But still, one of my favorite saws.
It is a nice saw.
Yeah. Okay. So that got really interesting because technically we have one winner and then practically we have a second. So we really have kind of a tie here.
I agree.
Yeah, with last place, still really decent in the bush. It's actually fairly lightweight. It's just the generic 21-inch Home Depot saw. It was like 12 bucks. And still does a decent job. Now, this is where it's going to get tough, because as far as cuts go, the Silky Big Boy is in second place.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as far as just performance, Trailblazer Bucksaw is in first place. However, we have to consider availability. If you can get this saw anymore, it's number one for you.
Definitely.
Most people can't because they stopped making it many years ago. So we actually give this, you figure, second place for this just based on availability?
Yes.
Yeah.
And we don't have an aesthetics category, so yeah.
Yeah, it's, I don't think it would matter, because this is a beautiful saw. But then again, yeah, so is this. So we decided to give the Trailblazer Bucksaw a, number one on tactical, but availability, it's got to be down in second place. So really, it is the, you were talking about the cost of the Trailblazer now. This thing is about $80 Canadian.
Yep.
So beautiful saw. Winner is going to be the Silky Big Boy 2000. And
what was the cost on the Trailblazer when you got it?
Trailblazer, when I got it, was 30 bucks.
Yeah.
10 bucks a blade, and I got the last spare blade in Lee Valley, Canada's entire inventory. Had to order it online. So yeah, it is a real tragedy that they don't make this saw anymore. And if anybody, well, I mean, I don't need another one, but if anyone ever comes up with another one of these, this exact design or very close to it, heck, I'd buy it, so would he.
And always keep your eyes open at those little dusty hardware stores and the little out-of-the-way places, because you never know what you're going to find.
Yeah, not to mention garage sales, yard sales, swap meets.
Yep.
Look for these, because someone may not know what they have. All right, so, and hands down winner was the big 36-inch bow saw.
Definitely.
Yeah, beat everything else, but again, because this isn't necessarily portable if you're backpacking, it's not feasible really to carry without modifications or a case. Great for canoe camping and car camping though. This is an option there.
Definitely.
All right. So we hope we have dazed and confused you enough here. This is the Alberta Bushcrafter Channel 2015 Saw Shootout, super heavyweight category. Thank you guys for watching. My name's Dean.
I'm JC.
And take care and good day.